Mr. Sixx here with the Counter Blitz Commander deck. Yeah, I know I'm late to the party, guys. Yeah. No, I've had this actually for a while since I got White Flare, but I was waiting for some sleeves to come in before I opened it, and then I was able to find some play boosters. So just kind of been I've kind of been just building stuff up, and trying to figure things out because things still aren't really going too well. So, but we're gonna open these play boosters, then the Counter Blitz, and then that'll be it. Just a little short video, nothing too crazy. Crazy though could be in the cards. And NVW does return August 22nd. It's a Friday. Starting off with a night thing. Oh, we get the Summon Chocobo Mog. I already have that. Item Shopkeeper. Marlboro. Bow. Stuck in the Sixx. Blitzball. Hey, Blitzball goes along with the Mr. Scout. Radius Return. Golden Saucer. Ona. Nice. Stolen Uniform. Nebulith Aflame. I think that's the first one I actually have of that one, so that's a pull. That's a decent pull. And Saz's Chocobo is the hollow. Nice. And then we got a hollow foil, whatever, forest. And then we go back to that. Sorry. Some of these cards are damaged. That kind of sucks. Well, luckily most of them are repeats for me, so here we go. Got bronze bow, bird's bow, Rook Torrent, Earth's Rescue Mission, Light of Judgment, Sethros Intervention, Neutrons Preserve, Crossroads Village, Clash of Echions, Misservant Armor, Random Encounter. Oh, we just got Zidane, Thief. Nice. Breath of Famir, and then we get Dunyan, Bahamut's Dunman, and then a Plains. Oh, and then we get the... Oh, and it's signed! Oh, that is a Red X signed, baby. Nice. Nice. That is simply amazing. That was a good hit there. That was a good hit. I enjoyed that. Alrighty. How do we open this bad boy thing again? How did I open the last one? I opened it from the top. So I'm going to do this one. So with some of the issues I've been having, I've been talking with people. Someone told me to start using Zip to get some of my cards. Pay a little bit here, pay a little bit, order it, pay a little bit for the next couple of weeks, and so on and so forth. So that might be what I'm going to be doing. Oh. This thing actually going to come out. That might be the process I might be doing here. That might be the process I do for a little bit so I can get some things organized and figured out. Sadly, it's not going as well as I would hope, honestly. Titus. Little thing here. I know what we all want to see is in here. Where is it at? There it is. A little pack of collection booster samples. Yeah, I got, like I said earlier, I got this at GameStop when I got the White Flare, so it was credit. I wonder if the chocobos could be in this. It's not the chocobo, it's Chocobo Knights! And Magaha Auto Wisp were nice, not too bad, I guess. I'd say 2 of the borderless cards I didn't have, so that makes it all worth it. And now we're gonna get to the Commander deck. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be messing around with some things here and there, trying to figure some things out. So I don't know what my next TCG project will be, but like I said, New Version Wrestling is returning on August 22nd. So that's going to be great. Alright, we got Titus's Guardian. And then we got Yuna, Grand Summoner. No. Read a little bit of their effects. Everybody should know their effects. At the beginning of your combat, in your turn, you may move a counter from one target creature you control onto a second target creature you control. Cheer. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal damage to a player, you may draw a card and do this only once each turn. Grand Summon from Lady Yuna. Yuna and Tifa are my 2 favorite Final Fantasy characters, so it's really one of these 2 decks. Add 1 mana of any color when you cast a creature spell this turn. That creature enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters. Whenever a grand permanent you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had any more counters on it, you may put number of +1 counters on target creature. And here we go. We got Aaron, Vision Guardian, Shooting Star whenever Aaron attacks, but +1/+1 counter on it. God damn. When you do, exile target creature's defense player. When you do, exile target creature defending player controls with power less than Aaron's power until Aaron leaves the battlefield. Hey, look, it's the it's the Chocobo Knights. Whenever you attack, creatures you control with counters on them gain double strike until end of turn. Holy shit. Got and Luna Flash when it enters, choose target creature you control. If it would be dealt damage to a creature this turn, prevent that damage and put that many counters on it. Lord Jessica Godo, flying at the beginning of each episode. If you put a counter on this creature this turn, investigate. So this is all going to be about putting counters on it. Protective magic. Put a showed counter on each. Put a shown counter on each of up to 3 target creatures. That's pretty cool. Summon Extion. Spark counter on target creature control. You gain 2 life. That's actually pretty cool. Janumbo. Exile target creature until your next turn. Attackers and creatures cannot attack unless their control is placed 2 for each of those creatures. He doesn't really make the he doesn't really fit into the deck. Summoner Sending. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile target creature from a graveyard. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on if the exiled counter is 4 or greater. Blitzball Statum. When this artifact enters, support X. Put a counter on X target creature's goal. Until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature deals damage to a player, draw a card for each kind of counter on it, and it cannot be blocked. Lulu, Storm Guardian. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking you. Put a stun counter on that creature, Pacificate. Choose any number of permanents and players, they then give another counter of each kind already there. It's not too bad. I thought she'd do something with magic, though. Maybe her original card does. Merchant Travelers, remove a counter from a non-permanent you control and draw a card. Riku, Resource for Guardian. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a creature until end of turn, that creature cannot be blocked by creatures your opponent controls. Still, Move a counter from target creature an opponent controls onto a target creature you control. Only activate as a sorcery. That's cool. I had a feeling there'd be a lot of summons in this deck. A Sonic Ring. This is Valor. Valfer. I pronounce his name. Each opponent chooses a creature with the power that they control. Return those creatures to owner's hand. Tap up to one target creature and put a stun counter on it. So this is all about putting stun counters on it. Mesta Seymour from Kim. At the beginning of the combat on your turn, put number of +1/+1 equals to the power onto another target creature. Monastery X, where X is the number of counters among creatures you control. Wow, that's crazy. Sphere Grid. Whenever a creature you can control deals damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Unlock ability. Creatures you control with +1/+1 have reach and hit trample. That's awesome. The Magna Sisters. Choose one. Combined pressure. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Put a target defense. Put a shown counter on target creature. You gain 3 life. That's honestly amazing. Fight. This creature fights up to one target creature your opponent controls. That's actually pretty cool. And that has haste. Turmoil. Seymour's Butler. Each other non-creature token you control enters the battlefield +1/+1 counter on it. Times. Yeah. Yuna's Decision. Choose one. Continuing the pilgrimage, sacrifice a creature. If you do, draw a card. When you put a creature card and or land card from your hand to the battlefield. Find another way. Return one of your 2 target cards from your graveyard to your hand. Yuna's Whistle. Reveal cards from your library among the creature. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When you reveal a creature card this way, put X +1/+1 counters creatures you control where X is the mana value of that creature. Nice. Kamari, Valiant Guardian, Vigilance. Reno's Rage. At the beginning of your upkeep, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Kamari and tap target creature on opponent controls. Then you may have Kamari become a copy of that creature. Accepted his name as Kamari Vigilant Guardian and has vengeance and this ability. Shelina using Invulnerable Acolyte. I know I probably pronounced that wrong. It's been so long since I've played the game. Lifelink. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on creature. If it's yeah. Sin. Undying Cataclysm. Flying Triple. Sin enters, removes all counters from any number of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Sin enters with X +1/+1 counters, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When Sin dies, put its counters on target creature you control, and then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Wow. Waka, Devoted Guardian. Reach Trample. Whenever Waka deals damage to a player, destroying up to target creature that player controls, and put +1 counter on Waka. Blitzball Captain. At the beginning of your incept, if a counter is put on Waka this turn, put +1 counter on each other creature you control. Collective Efforts. Escalated. I don't know how to pronounce that. Tap an untapped creature you control. Pay this cost. Choose one. Destroy target creature with power. Put +1 counter on it. Damning Verdict. Destroy all creatures with no counters on them. Farewell. That's sad. Choose one or more. Exile all tournament. One or more. Exile all artifacts. Exile all creatures. Exile all guardians. Enchantments. Exile all guardians. All graveyards. Lanuius Breed Moth. Flying. Whenever creature enters, flies, returns its owner's hand with a flying counter on it. Promised Loyalty. Each player puts a vow counter on a creature they control and sacrifices the rest. Each of these creatures cannot attack you or a planeswalker you control for as long as it remains has a vow counter on it. Forceful Defense. Whenever an opponent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had a counter on it, put those counter target permanent you control. Move any number of counters from target permanent you control onto a second target permanent you control. Scholar of New Horizon. Nah, I'm not too worried about that. Flying, but you gain 1 life. Together Forever. When this enchantment enters support 2, play +1/+1 counter on each of. Choose target creature with a counter on it. When that creature dies this turn, return it to its owner's hand. Chasmoscotic, Conversion Tones. Pull for tomorrow. Draw X cards and discard X cards. Bane of Progress. When this creature enters, destroy all artifacts and enchants and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature for each permanent destroyed this way. Fight rigging. Hideaway. When this enters battle, look at the top 5 cards of your library and exile one face down and put the rest at the bottom of her. At the beginning of your upkeep, the counter is the target. Yeah, okay. Forgotten Ancient. Put a play counter you may put with that. Set. Go to Sage to evolve, whatever this card is on it. Hardened Scales. If you control one more creature, you would like to put a creature. Yeah. Inversion Druid. Path of Discovery. Yeah, I'm just not going to read all of these, guys. If I think it's an interesting card, I'll probably read it. Or interesting fact from the game, maybe. Alter Ego. This card cannot be countered. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except... Interesting. In this detour, the owner of the target spell non-main, yeah. Fandom Mage, Human Wizard, Evolve. This creature gets plus 1 counter for withdrawal. Walking Ballista. And then the lands. Brushlands. Vesta. Vesta. Evelyn. Full Grove. Fortified Village. Callisan Fortress. Henderson, yep. Port Town. Parafield Streams. Clairvaux Expense. Gross Powerland. Destroy Evil. Choose one. Destroy target creature with 4 toughness. Destroy target event. Grace for Persian. Flying. Whenever this card deals combat damage to a player, Pacificate. Path of Exile. An offer you can't refuse. Crawler. Forseek. Inspiring Call. Whistle, people. Or yell. I think that's laugh. Draw a card you can. Yeah. Through visit. Such as your friends from the battlefield shuffle. Bread of the Hunt. Ernest Singing. At 1 minute of visit. Nice. Fairfield Chasselet, Soul Ring, and I think we're getting that Forge of Hope. Some grounds, Path of Strength, Seaside Cathedral, Ender's Tower, and then the rest. Not a bad deck, if I don't say so myself. It's very interesting. But that's it for now, guys. That's just the Counter Blitz. Thank you for all watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Mr. Sixx out. See you all in the future.